Hello viewers, it's Farming Together and we are here in Galloway, Norton, and I'm with a farmer inside a greenhouse.
I'm Kurai Makaza. I'm farming here in Galloway, Norton,
Okay.
which is about 40 kilometers outside Harare.
Okay.
Yes, I've been farming now for 4 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us what inspired you to start farming?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I'm an economist by training.
Okay.
I have a degree in economics. Having worked for a number of companies in Zimbabwe, I came to a point where I said I need to be doing something of my own.
Okay.
And I identified horticulture as a low-hanging fruit. So I said, let me go into horticulture business. In this greenhouse, it is a 500 square greenhouse, which is 50 meters long and 10 meters wide.
Okay.
10 lines which are spaced 1 meter apart. And we basically grow 3 crops in rotation.
Okay.
We grow bell peppers, we grow tomatoes, and we grow English cucumbers.
Okay.
At the moment, we have bell peppers, like you've said, and these bell peppers, 300 plants of them will turn yellow,
Okay.
and 300 will turn red. So in
Okay.
all, we got 600 plants. 300 will turn yellow, 300 will turn red. And the reason why I chose to grow bell peppers is because in the greenhouse you need to grow a crop which is high valued. So the 3 crops that I've indicated are high value crops because you are growing intensive. It's not an open field where you have a big field. It's a restricted area, so you want to grow crops that will give you a good return per square meter.
Okay. We're talking about pepper here.
Okay.
I understand as viewers, or we might be wondering the types of peppers we have. Some people, they say we've got green pepper, we've got yellow pepper, we've got red pepper. Some people, they wonder if the green pepper turns yellow or the green pepper turns red. Is it the same plant or they've got different seedlings? Can you tell us what happens behind?
Okay. Basically, there's nothing like green pepper. All pepper, when it matures, will turn a color.
Okay.
It will change from green to some color.
Okay.
And so there's nothing like green pepper. Green pepper will eventually turn color.
Okay.
But when you're growing them, there are varieties that you know this one will turn yellow, this one will turn green.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it will turn red, or it will turn purple.
Okay.
There are some purple peppers and some orange peppers. But here in Zimbabwe, we used to yellow and red peppers.
Okay.
Yeah. So when pepper is green,
yes,
still immature.
Oh.
So when it matures, it then turns into color.
Okay, you can hear, viewers, a lot of us were learning a lot. We actually thought that green pepper is also one of type of pepper, but as you can see, it's just something that is also ready to mature in another color. Okay, I believe you mentioned earlier that you've been in farming for 4 years, right?
Yes.
So I believe that you're not experienced enough to tell us the challenges you faced, how you overcome those challenges when you were growing pepper.
Okay. So I can talk of challenges in general in horticulture, not specifically in pepper alone.
Okay.
The challenges are you need to practice what we call integrated pest and disease management. The moment you slacken on your integrated pest and disease management, you're going to struggle with diseases, and your quality eventually is not going to come right. You're going to have fruits which with blemishes, where insects will have bitten, and so on and so on. So you need to be very thorough with your pest and disease management. That's a major challenge.
Okay.
This is an example of blossom end rot. So the fruit will rot at the blossom end, which is a calcium deficiency, which is shortage of calcium. which causes this kind of physiological problem. These peppers are starting to turn color.
Okay,
I don't know whether the camera can pick it up. They're starting to turn yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, so which means they're mature now.
Okay.
Yes, so they're ready for the market. And some we got this challenge. This is what we call blossom end rot.
Alright.
This is shortage of deficiency of calcium.
Okay.
Okay, so this paper, some papers, they didn't pick up calcium from the soil.
Okay.
Maybe due to lack of moisture in the soil, so they didn't pick up moisture.
Okay.
They didn't pick up the calcium from the soil. So we have got this disease. And then the next challenge is to ensure that you got adequate water
Okay.
for irrigation. If you don't have enough water, then the crops are going to have standard growth, they're going to wilt, and you don't want that, and that's going to compromise your quality. So yeah, those are some of the challenges that we come across.
Okay.
Yeah, and eventually if your quality doesn't come right, you're going to struggle to dispose of your produce.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our inlet valve into the fertigation tank. So we put water soluble fertilizers like your potassium nitrate, your calcium nitrate, your magnesium and so on into this fertigation tank. So it dissolves, then we open the outlet valve and it mixes from that main tank with the drip irrigation water. So that's how we apply the fertilizers. So our water, this is the outlet. The fertilizers is now a solution. It leaves the fertigation tank and it goes with the drip irrigation water from the main tank, and then it goes into the greenhouse. That's how we apply our fertilizers.
And I'm already experiencing some high temperatures here. So can you actually explain to us what are the difference of plowing crops here inside a greenhouse compared to outside?
Okay. In a greenhouse like this one, the greenhouse is basically manipulating the climate to achieve good growth.
Okay.
So in a greenhouse you've got high temperatures, and most crops favor high temperatures.
Okay.
So you achieve temperatures of 35, 36, 38, 40 degrees, and crops will thrive under such an environment.
Okay.
And secondly, you got less diseases and pests in a greenhouse.
All right.
As you can see, we've got a shed net at the end, and then plastic on top, so
Okay.
insects don't come into the greenhouse easily. So you got better pests and disease management in a greenhouse as well.
Okay. Talking about protecting what's inside the greenhouse, are there any prescription that us as we enter what we're supposed to do so that we don't bring in unwanted diseases inside here?
Okay, definitely. So as you enter the greenhouse, we got to disinfect. We got what we call a foot bath.
Okay.
So you disinfect our shoes or our boots as we enter a greenhouse. Then like I said, there's a net on the sides. We don't allow even flies or even insects to get in, even bees to get in here.
Okay.
All the crops that we grow in, pollination wise, we got to the wind pollinated. Your tomatoes, your peppers, they're wind pollinated. Your cucumbers are wind pollinated. So you don't need any bees in here.
Okay.
If you're going to grow a crop that requires pollen to be transferred from a female part to a male part, you got to manually do the pollination yourself. But otherwise, you go to grow crops that require wind pollination.
Okay. So, sir, can you tell us, how do you market green pepper? How do you market your business? I believe that as a farmer, you are expecting something from what you are investing.
Okay. Yes. I supply my papers to some supermarkets.
All right.
There are a number of supermarkets that I sell to. What is important is to get your quality right. So if you get your quality right, your produce will always get a market.
All right.
So supermarkets, because they're selling to you and me, so they want the quality to be good. So as long as I grow my peppers and I produce good quality, the supermarkets I can always supply the supermarkets.
Okay. So when you plow a green pepper, how long after do you when you want to harvest? Do you harvest after how long?
Okay. For pepper to change color, because I am not selling it as green.
Okay.
I'm selling it as colored peppers.
Okay.
For it to change color, most variety, like the varieties that I have here, they will change color in 90 days, which is 3 months to change color.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 90 days, they will start turning. As you will see, my peppers have started changing color into yellow.
Okay. Do you have any challenges as a farmer? Like probably you might have targets that maybe expect a bigger area, or what maybe economically things are not allowing you to do so. Any challenges or any targets that you wish to reach, but sometimes economy doesn't allow you?
Oh, definitely there are challenges. One which is you had a limited bundle of money.
All right.
By now, I would be having 10, 15 other greenhouses like this one.
Yeah.
But currently, I only have this single greenhouse, and other crops I'm growing open field.
Okay.
So, yeah, one wish is one could get even investors who can come and buy shares into my company, and we expand this business. There's so much potential in horticulture. We're looking a few years from now, we must be growing for the export market. Our climate here in Zimbabwe, our soils, our rainfall patterns are very suited for growing for export. So one wishes one way to get investors who can put in equity into the business, and we expand. We get more green. I wish I could have a hectare, 2 hectares under greenhouse.
All right. Okay, Mr. Makaza. Maybe there's a farmer out there who's also wondering, how can I start greenhouse? Also want to start horticulture farming. What advice would you give that person right now?
Okay, my advice to people who want to go into farming is a word of caution to start with. Farming is not a Ponzi scheme. I've often heard people say you can make money from farming. Yes, you can make money from farming, but you got to prepare to put in investment. You got to prepare to put in hard work into farming. It's not a Ponzi scheme. But once you work hard, once you focus, I don't want to lie, there's money to be made in horticulture, in agriculture in general. Horticulture is agriculture in general is a low-hanging fruit. We can easily, if you have a piece of land, no matter how small, an acre, 2 acres, a hectare, you can do wonders. So my advice to you is, especially to the young people, I want to advise the youth, especially the youth, get up, roll up your sleeves, work hard. There's money to be made in agriculture.
Wow, what a great advice from Mr. Makaza here inside the greenhouse. We've really learned a lot about paper. We've learned a lot about the temperatures here, what you need to have a greenhouse. Thank you so much, Mr. Makaza, for the knowledge. I'm really grateful, and thank you so much for watching. For now, it's goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.